Hello there, and welcome to another week of the weekly psychic review. Yeah, thanks for joining me. I hope you've had a good week last week and that you enjoyed the reading. We're doing this for the week of the 25th, Monday the 25th, through till Sunday the 31st of May. 2020. Just a quick rundown of how I work. I call in my guides, my spirit guides, always in spirit who love me, and ask them to give everyone out there what they need for the upcoming week, give them any healing that they require as well, and to have a bit of fun along the way. So this is a general reading for everyone out there. Just give me a sec. I'll just seal off, tune in, call my guides in, and we'll get straight into it. Okay, so they're saying, what are you leaving behind? There's been a big kind of emphasis on clearing and changing and clearing yourself, and there's been a lot of emphasis on people changing their attitudes, their beliefs, their perceptions, on changing the way that they look at their own life and what they want from their life. And sometimes when this happens, it brings up sort of uncomfortable feelings, it brings up tiredness, it brings up the unknown, it brings up confusion, this sort of thing. And when that pops up, there's a real kind of you've got a choice there, because a lot of the time when you do choose to release this stuff, it is a bit uncomfortable. There is a transition. It is a bit different. You don't know what's going to happen. It's unexpected. You're going into the unknown. And as you're actually doing this, and there's a real tendency for people to, go back into what's known. And it's that thing where sometimes what's known isn't always the best for us, but it might be the most comfortable, even though it's not good for you. And it might be comfortable because it's been there for 10, 20, 30, 50, 60 years, 80 years, whatever the time, is. They're saying even longer, when you go back through past lives. There's a lot of repetitive patterns that occur in, different lives that we've had. And they're saying if you just want to look at past lives just for a second, just on a very logical basis, very practical kind of way of looking at it. So if you imagine every day of your life that you have, for however long you live, every day is a life. Now, if you have a look at every day being a different life that you've experienced, what happens is, one day or one life will carry on to the next, will carry on to the next. So it's that thing about some of these stuff, some of these patterns, these sort of programs that were running in your subconscious in the background have actually been going not just for this life, but for quite a lot of other lives. And they're saying some of these programs and patterns have been running through families as well for, multiple generations. And it's that thing when, if you look at it from that extent, you go, okay, well, if it's been running through an amount of lives or through my ancestral line or even through this life, whatever, it doesn't matter, that can be pretty ingrained. And whenever something's fairly ingrained and you want to change it, there's going to be a backlash that's going to be happening. So it's that thing that even when it's good, sometimes it's a bit uncomfortable. And what they said to me as soon as I didn't say this when I started, was, what are you leaving behind? Okay, what are you leaving behind? And that's really the question to ask yourself. They're saying really over the next month, the next 2 months, what are you leaving behind? And it's that thing about, are you leaving behind a different view of life in which, hasn't really worked for you, or a way of doing things that's out of date now, and it's time to step it up and to move it up and to go into something different. Are you moving away? Are you leaving a particular situation or particular people in which, because that's come up actually, that's coming up quite a bit with people, that as things move on and you know, it's a little bit different in different states or different countries where they're actually at with the COVID-19 restrictions. But, you know, it's that thing where some people aren't relating to people that they've, you know, been friends with for quite a while, or they've known for quite a while. And it's that thing where it's a bit uncomfortable, it's a bit weird, but it's like, don't look at this as a deficit. Actually look at this as a new beginning. It's not something that you're losing, it's actually something that you're gaining, because you know, you're going in, you're moving in different directions, and if you really love that person, you know, it's that thing where you can go on, I want you to make new friends, I want you to have a new start, I want you to find new relationships. If it's a relationship breakup or anything like this, I want you to find people that you love, people that really fit with you really well. I love you that much, I want to let you go. The thing is, I love me that much, I've got to go and find new people, I've got to find new experiences, and I've got to expand myself, and you know, start to get together with people and start to share experiences with people who are going to expand me and who are going to relate to me on a different level, and who, you know, we can grow together in whatever form that is, whether it's platonic, you know, through a working relationship, romance, whatever it may be. So it's that thing about, what are you really actually leaving behind? So have a bit of a think about that and what it actually means to you, because every single person is going to be different in what that actually means. And yeah, and that's that thing, don't judge, man. Everyone's got their own thing. So anyway, I'll get on with the weekly reading. So Monday, so take a breath of fresh air. You know, take it easy, relax a little bit, go with it, you know, realize that things are actually in place, and they are moving on. They're not actually on a world standard. It's not as bad as what a lot of people think. There's a lot of really good things that are happening and coming up. Okay, Tuesday, what's on Tuesday? So Tuesday, it's really about, you know, it's about listening to your thinking, listening to what you're doing, and watching your actions a little bit more. You know, is that something in which, you know, it's fun, it's happy, you're doing it wholeheartedly, you know, you're doing it with your heart, or you're doing it because you have to. And there's quite a bit of stuff with work around this, and not just with work, but with more deeper personal relationships, romantic relationships, stuff like that. You know, when you do something for your partner, we'll say partners, but this can go for work as well. Are you really doing this because you want to, or are you doing this because you have to? With work, it's a little bit different, because sometimes you just got to do stuff. But it's that thing, you know, say what you mean and mean what you say. Okay, Wednesday, what's on Wednesday? So I'm just getting reminded of a very wise, beautiful person that told me that. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Yeah, quite powerful stuff, right? Yeah. All right, so Wednesday. So Wednesday, this is about allowing that sort of freedom of speech, that freedom of movement, that freedom of flow. And it's that thing too about, you know, how are you relating to those things inside of you that, you know, they might be a little bit sort of, you know, more the child stuff. So it might be a little bit impractical, but it's fun to do. It might be a little bit silly, but hey, you know, it feels good when you do it. You know, and they're saying, you know, within the guidelines of you not doing any harm, really. But it's that thing about how often do you let yourself do this and let yourself sort of drift off and go with it, and let that sort of, those more happier, lighter, sort of childlike elements out. Okay, so Thursday, it's funny, this is about mental things. So Thursday with mental things. So this is really about, you know, they're saying about watch out for your thinking around Thursday. There's going to be some things that are going to pop up, going to grab some people by the boo-boo, and they're going to be really difficult. Watch your thinking. When the shit hits the fan, watch the way where your mind goes, okay? because, you know, there's a lot of old patterns and programs and conditioning and all that kind of stuff goes on, you know, and there's quite a few people I can feel that when things don't go so well, or when they don't work out so well, you know, one of the go-to subconscious pattern that you've got is, this is my fault, it's something to do with me, I've messed up, you know, I've got to fix it, I've got to sort it. Where, you know, a lot of the time it actually isn't, or it hasn't been your fault. And they're saying, look, even if it is your fault, this is about, you know, taking responsible action about it. So it's about going, okay, you know, things aren't fabulous, or I've stuffed something up. Okay, what can I do from here? How can I go from here? And it's about watching that mental thinking. Okay, Friday. So Friday is, so yeah, there's a flow here, there's a bit of a shuffle as well. And, you know, they're saying, you know, getting your dancing shoes on as well on Friday. So it's that thing about, you know, how are you sort of moving through the day? How are you flowing through the day? What are you aligning yourself to? What are you sticking to? What are you not sticking to? And are you allowing, you know, the road bumps or the gunk or the stuff that happens, are you allowing that to stick with you? Or are you actually seeing it? And the technique is quite easy. It's about when you get triggered or a thing pops up, you know, you feel the emotion, allow yourself to feel it, you know, step back from the emotion, look at the situation for what the situation is, and then step back again. And then actually look at the emotion, the situation, your involvement in that particular situation, and actually go, okay, what's actually going on here, and what's going to be the most beneficial way for me to respond to what's actually happening. And when you can do this, it's actually quite clearing, quite healing as well, quite beautiful. So, and it'll actually change the course of events, I'm being told, as well, when you start. This is a process, okay? So, you know, it's something I've been working on for quite a while, and it does get easier. The more you do it, the easier it gets and the better it gets, but hey, it never gets really easy, okay? So it's always a bit difficult, some, you know, at times. But, you know, you get enormous benefit from this, you really do. So it's that thing that, yeah, it just might take a little bit of focus. Okay, getting on the Saturday. So they're saying Saturday, this is about, flowing, it's about freedom. They're saying freedom. It's about getting together as well, if you possibly can. So, and it's also about allowing yourself to have a little bit more fun. They're saying, you know, once you get the things done that you need to on the Saturday, you know, have a little bit more fun. How can you inject something different into your day? How can you inject a bit of fun? How can you do something just a little bit different, maybe, to just spice things up for your Saturday? It could be absolutely anything. So, all right, so on Sunday, what's on Sunday? They're saying Family Day, actually. And it's funny because I can also hear, you know, there's some people out there that just want to kill their families because they've spent so much time with them. But it's that thing too, in which it's like, when you have spent quite a lot of time with people, you know, it can get a little bit congested when you're looking through and looking at people with that same lens and with that same focus. And they're saying that that lens gets dirty over time. So how can you look at them a little bit differently? How can you look at the situation a little bit differently? And actually pull yourself back a little bit and actually go, well, they've been in the same situation I have. And if they're feeling the way I've been feeling, well, there's no wonder that they might be like getting on my nerves, or I'm getting on their nerves, or that sort of thing. So, you know, how can we put a bit of lightness, a little bit more fun? And this could just be about asking, okay, what does everyone feel like doing? What can we do that's fun? What can we do that's, you know, yeah, it's fun. It's fun. All right, so they're telling me that's it for now. All right, the other thing is that if you can do this in the morning, it's quite a good exercise, quite a nice exercise You can do this, you know, while you're sitting there having your cuppa before you get sorted for the day. Just, you know, if you want to, it's about closing your eyes just for 30 seconds. Set your timer on your phone, close your eyes for 30 seconds, and, you know, see yourself as a child, you know, and it could be at whatever age, and just hold them, give them a hug, you know, and just say to yourself, okay, you know, what age do I need to be supported? Do I need to be loved right now? And, you know, quite a few of you won't be able to see yourself at that age. You might not be able to feel yourself at that age. Hey, it doesn't really matter. So it's all about your intent. So just go, right, I'm just going to imagine, or just, you know, just make believe that I can see myself as a child. Could even be at a baby, you know, at a day old. It could be right up to, you know, going into your late teens, into your early 20s. You know, because, hey, you know, you still need hugs then, you still need hugs now. That's that thing about just close your eyes and just imagine yourself holding you at that particular age and just saying, you know, I love you, you're good, you know, you've done really well. Look at where you've been able to get to, and look at what you've been able to accomplish, and you're a beautiful person. I'm going to be here for you. Okay, they're telling me that's it. So I just wanted to thank you for joining me this week. Been really cool. So yeah, love your comments, you're sharing me around, you're liking me, that sort of stuff. Really, really good. If you want a session with me, I'm available for in-person as well as absence appointments over the phone, Messenger, Skype, you know, that sort of thing. All my links are below. All right, big loves to everyone out there. Have a good week. Bye-bye.